This is the ex-Jehovah Witnesses of Arizona, bringing you information about the occult of the organization known as Watchtower, with its members known as Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're interested in occult tactics and false religion, this might be a channel for you.
With that introduction out of the way, let's get started and let's let the truth shine light and lead the way.
All right, guys, so this is going to be a sociological experiment and seeing if you can notice pattern recognition, okay? So recognizing certain patterns and certain manipulations and see if you can pick up on them. So I've already told you that there's something you should be picking up on, so let's test and hone your skills. I'm going to show you one of the most viral videos out there on TikTok, and something that I picked up extremely quickly because I'm familiar with the industry. And I want to see if you notice these motifs or not. I'm going to play the video, and then I want you to pay very close attention to anything and everything and tell me what you notice.
Gaza need to die.
Is that seriously what you think?
I am killed two people Palestinian.
I don't believe you did that.
I am in the army. You know, boom, boom, 2 people.
We're making.
So as you guys are obviously very aware that the issue going on with Israel and Hamas. So what I noticed right off the bat is this girl is very pretty. Think about this for a second. How many women do you personally know who are as attractive as this girl? The other thing that I noticed very, very, very quickly is that she is sharing a bunch of motifs for the porn industry. And I picked up on this, and the reason I'm telling you guys this is I have acquaintances and friends that worked in the porn industry. And so there are motifs that they go for to help push sales. The long hair is the first thing that I'm noticing. The childlike behavior, braces, chewing bubble gum, and most importantly, the little girl voice. Now, what she says is horrific and obviously not little girl-like. And then the most important thing, which I didn't catch until I had watched this a few times, and I realized this, when she's, doing her little, dance, she has no bra. Why are these things really important? Because this girl is in Israel. It's not a normal thing for them to videotape themselves, perfect makeup, not have a bra, talk about killing people. It just doesn't seem right. And this is what I want to talk to you guys. The Zionist movement sells sex as their number one asset. And so I would speculate on a probability that this person is either in the porn industry or for whatever reason was paid to act like a porn star, which is really bizarre and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why are you using all these motifs for the porn industry? Young girl, no bra, long hair, right? Braces, chewing gum, like the innocent factor, you know what we're talking about? These are things that I noticed right off the bat, and I said, I don't think that this is real. And I don't think this is real because there's too many of these motifs together to get your attention, to make a male, especially a young male, pay attention to what this person is saying and to get a reaction. If you see women like this who are... Here's the thing. When you watch crap like this, I want you to think to yourself, what are the odds that they found this person who just happens to be one of the most beautiful women you have ever seen? I mean, let's think about this. Look around at the people that you know personally. How many girls are even close to this factor of attractive?
And you're happy about it?
I mean, honestly, think about that for a second.
The world's gonna see your actions.
People in Gaza need to.
Now, remember, the organization Jehovah's Witnesses is a Zionist organization. Everything we're seeing here is Zionist. And people don't really know or understand what Zionists are. And so tomorrow's video is going to go into the history of the Zionists, how we know what Zionists are, going all the way back to where they came from, where they were, how the world found out what the Zionists were up to, and what their plans are. Now, remember, Zionists are perverts. Zionists use sex in order to obtain the things that they want. If you look at any church organization that has Zionists in the title or have Zionists that have backed it up and financed it, they have issues with rape, child molestation, and prostitution. Every time. Every single time. Now, how is that the case? Is that a coincidence? I would say absolutely not. And so when you see stuff, before you get, oh my gosh, and oh wow, this is incredible, this is crazy, stop for a second, analyze what you're seeing, and think about what subconsciously you're being told. Now, I want to be perfectly clear. I am not condoning, I am not taking any side in the events. I think murdering people is wrong, period, no matter what. I am not saying that they weren't attacked. I'm not saying that this is artificial at all. What I'm saying is there's something going on in the background that we should be paying attention to because something is off. When I see the media pushing you in a certain direction and they're using sexual motifs in order to try to get you to think a certain way, you should definitely stop and think, whoa, because it is common for cults to use sex as a way to control you. Jehovah Witnesses are a sex cult. They're also a doomsday cult. And the reason I say that is Jehovah Witnesses, they teach things that are completely not appropriate, that most normal people, most normal Americans and Christians don't think about. And a lot of Jehovah Witnesses don't even realize this. Jehovah Witnesses teach that women who wear normal clothes are seducing men and that men can't control themselves, and the women are putting themselves in danger of being raped because men can't control their sexual urges. I have heard Jehovah Witnesses throughout my entire life blame girls who get raped because of the way they dress, because they're dressing worldly. I've had my family members actually condone rape because it's the fault of the victim for dressing the way they do. This is insanity to think this way. It is mentally diseased to even say something like that. To even think that shows you that you are brainwashed and there is something wrong with you mentally. The reason why I say Jehovah's Witnesses are a sex cult is because the issue with child abuse, the fact that their book that their elders use say that looking at child images doesn't make you a pedophile, and that the elders will decide. And the only reason you would get in trouble for looking at that, if you look at it too much, as if looking at it at all isn't a problem, is insane. Now, these are their words, and this is their belief system. You are not allowed to say an elder molested you without going to the elders first and getting permission. You're not allowed to go to the police unless they give you permission. This has been their policy up until recently, when they have gotten sued for hundreds of millions of dollars. Then they changed their policy once it was let out into the public that, well, you know what? You can go ahead and talk to the police. That's your decision. And we're going to say that we don't tell you that you can or can't. Now, I know for a fact that this isn't the real policy because I listened to elders tell my mother not to report my abuse to the authorities. I sat in the room and watched the elders, or actually the circuit overseer, tell my mother, do not go to the police because this will bring reproach on Jehovah's name. Every single victim of child abuse I have ever talked to has been told that exact same statement. This is what Zionists are. They are a cult, and they are a sex cult. They are deviant, and they are disgusting. They are perverts, and they are absolutely wicked. I am going to prove to you without a doubt that what I'm saying is true, and that there's factual information out there that is historically correct that we know about that proves what I'm saying. I am telling you that tomorrow's video is very long, and there's so much information for you to gather up that it's going to be quite long. It's like 45 minutes. It's one of the longest videos I've ever made. But I think it's so important for you guys to understand how completely and utterly disgusting the Zionist movement is. Everything that you see out there that seems crazy and unrealistic and crazy and fringe that involves sex, if you pay attention to the nonprofits, where the money comes from, and who finances that, 90% of the time, the financiers are Zionists. Now, the problem with this is when you look at the definition of Zionist, which you'll learn from the video tomorrow, a Zionist is someone who's pro-Israel getting their own country. So the definition of Zionist doesn't really apply to my definition. And it's very important you understand that there's two Zionists. There are Zionists, people who want Israel to have its own country and have their own rights. And then there are the Zionists that believe in the Freemason Zionist movement. If you speak to an Orthodox Jew, they will tell you that Zionists and true Jews are not the same religion. They are hybrids of one another. Just like how you have certain Christian denominations and subgroups, Zionism is a subgroup of Judaism. But it's not Orthodox Judaism. It's its own subvert, cultural blend and merge of several different cult groups into one. So with that being said, I hope you guys understand why I'm showing you this stuff. And I know the subject matter of sex makes most people very uncomfortable. But you have to understand what spiritual warfare is and how to defend yourself and how to recognize your enemies. And when I say spiritual warfare, I'm talking about the techniques these people are using. So if you don't understand what they're doing, how can you defend yourself against an enemy you don't know anything about? You should learn about the terrible things of this world because they're here, they're there, and they're preying on you. And if you don't know how to defend yourself from them, you might fall victim to them. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to understand the reality of this world, and I want you to come out of the Jehovah Witness bubble of false reality, and I want you to understand what is really going on and what these people are really doing, what their real goal is. I don't want you to live in a little box in a little magic land for your entire life and throwing your entire world away when you could be living a good, happy, productive life in a safe area and understanding like what people are doing. If people know about the dangers of cult groups like this, when they're trying to get into your politics, into your school boards and everything else, if you know what they are and you know how to recognize them, then you can defend yourself and your family from them. It's really important that you pay attention because they always leave clues. When people try to do things like this, like have a cute little girl who talks like a little kid, but yet is a full-blown woman, not wearing a bra, chewing gum, having braces, and coming off as incredibly sexual, and then talking about murdering people, well, you should be fucking paying attention to that. Because that's not normal, that's bizarre, and why are they trying to influence you with somebody like that and trying to, I don't know, express murder? And then obviously we should be paying attention to the correlation. This is a Zionist propaganda machine. Jehovah Witnesses are a Zionist organization. They work together. What is their goal? This is what I want to talk about. But you have to wait till tomorrow. With that being said, Thank you for your time.